is going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, King of Games here. And today, we're going to be watching an insane matchup between Magical Musketeer and Subterror. JB starting off first, he's going to be using Pot of Extravagance to banish 6 cards from his extra deck. His extra deck cards do not matter to be able to draw 2 cards, so he's going to get 2 free cards from his deck to his hand. Now, I know you guys are used to Amber or TJ and even Chip 102, but JB is actually a returning player to the Yu-Gi-Oh card game and really wants to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! I pointed him to Subterror, and ever since he's seen Subterror Fiendus and Subterror Nemesis Archer, he has fallen in love. Following up, he's going to use Pot of Duality, revealing his Subterror Fiendus, Subterror Final Battle, and a Hidden City. He's going to go ahead and elect to add the Hidden City from his deck to his hand. Now, the biggest reason why I suggest decks like Subterror is because they are slower paced decks. They're relatively cheap if you go for the cheapest cards, and on top of that, they are still very competitive into this format. Using the Hidden City, he'll now be able to add a Subterror monster from his deck to his hand. You guys can only guess that he would add the Subterror Guru from his deck to his hand, as you guys should already know. Flipping Subterror Guru face down and face up is going to be the most important thing. Setting the Subterror Guru face down, he'll now use his Hidden City to flip his Guru face up, and then he'll trigger the effect of his Subterror Guru to allow him to add a Subterror card from his deck to his hand. Now he's going to get his favorite card in Subterror Fiendus. I mean, she's as close as a red hair with a big nose as you were going to get. Did I just leak this man's Tinder information? But yeah, he's going to be able to have a free negation and flip his Guru back face down, which gets him another search. He's setting 2 cards face down and then passing his turn right back to me, and now I have to break a fairly simple board. We can assume that he has at least 1 disruption. I'm going to start off by normal summoning Magical Musketeer Starfire to my side of the field, and then activating a really powerful card under it known as Pot of Desires. Now, Pot of Desires allows me to banish 10 cards from my deck in an effort to draw 2 cards. Banishing 10 cards is cost. JB realizing this, he's going to go ahead and follow with Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. No, you can't have more resources to your hand. It was almost forced. But it's a great thing that he actually negated the Magical Musketeer Starfire. That's 1 less negate that he has to stop my Magical Musketeer Starfire's effect, or he negated my desires. JB following up with the Subterror Fiendus. I just so happen to have the answer to his answer in Cold by the Grave. In this particular hand, I really didn't care about the Pot of Desires. I have a really good hand starting off right now. I just wanted to resolve the effect of my Magical Musketeer Starfire, which will allow me to summon more monsters to my side of the field so I can continue to proceed to attempt to break his board. That sounds like a lot of effort, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm telling you, it is, because he has at least negated me twice. I've played through 2 disruptions. I have a possibility of having to play through 4 disruptions face down. Activating Upstart Goblin, not only am I going to be able to draw an additional card, giving my opponent 1,000 life points, I trigger the effect of my Magical Musketeer Casper, which allows me to add a Magical Musket card from my deck to my hand. JB has the response, the Menace using the Solemn Strike, only to be met with another answer in his answer, and Magical Musketeer Last Stand. Whoa! I know this is way too many traps for you guys to be seeing. This is like, we're in dangerous territories right now. Yu-Gi-Oh! With traps? I'm going to add Magical Musketeer Desperado, and then JB playing a super big brain play. He's actually going to use his Subterror Final Battle to flip his Guru face down. Now, if he would have kept the Guru face up, by the time I would have activated the Desperado targeting the Subterror Guru, no matter what he would have done with his Subterror Final Battle, the Guru would be destroyed. Now I'm looking at a situation where I possibly have to attack into the Guru and trigger its effect. I think it was a really smart move by the Menace. Using the Starfire as a leak material, I'm going to go ahead and make Magical Musketeer Max, and then trigger Max's effect, knowing that I don't have to deal with a Solemn Strike or Solemn Judgment or Solemn Warning face down. He's already used Ash Blossom and Subterror Fiendus. What more hand traps can he have? Subterror or Magical Musketeer Max allow me to summon 2 Magical Musket monsters from my deck to my side of the field. Keep in mind, his field spell is a spell and trap card on the field. So I'll be able to spell summon Magical Musketeer Calamity and Magical Musketeer Doc to my side of the field for free, already gaining a generous amount of advantage on Subterrors. The only problem is, all of these monsters are still weaker than Subterror Guru, so naysayers to the play that TJ did, the heads up play, or my apologies, JB did, the heads up play was pretty smart, because now I have to destroy not only his Guru, I have to get past the Hidden City, which can protect his monster from an attack. Knowing this, I'm going to go ahead and use Magical Musket Desperado under the Calamity to destroy his Hidden City and then I can trigger the effect of my Magical Musketeer Calamity, special summoning a Magical Musketeer inside of Starfire back to my side of the field. It looks like I can use both of those monsters for a Utopia play. No, I don't play Utopia, unfortunately. I wanted to play Utopia because making Utopia Lightning in this particular situation would allow me to attack over it. I'm going to use Magical Musketeer Max to attack into a Guru, which has stronger attack, and then during the damage step, I'm going to use Magical Musket Cross Domination. Cross Domination modifies attack and defense, so it can be used in the damage step. Really awesome that I can negate Guru's attack, or Guru's effect, and change his attack and defense to 0. After that, I'll attack for max damage after resolving Magical Musketeer Docks, which will allow me to add a Subterror card, Last Stand, from my graveyard to my hand, and then pass it right back to JB. He's not looking at a great situation right now. 5 Magical Musketeer monsters on my side of the field. 4 of them will give me advantage. He's going to start off by activating a Hidden City from his deck to his hand. I'm going to Last Stand it under the Casper, and we are going into game 2. That was pretty crazy, playing through multiple negates and being able to establish a board. I hope you guys are excited about Magical Musketeer. Going ahead and starting off, JB is going to use Hidden City to be met by an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, but then he's going to go ahead and follow up by normal summoning a Subterror Nemesis Archer, setting cards face down, and then passing his turn. The face-up Nemesis Archer lets me know that he has a Subterror Fiendish, or at least I think he has a Subterror Fiendish, until I realize that was all 5 cards. Why do you do that? I'm going to normal summon my Magical Musketeer Max and then immediately use it for a link summon into Magical Musketeer, or my Magical Musketeer Kid Brave, using it for a link summon into Casper, hoping that none of his face down cards are live. They are live. Infinite Impermanence being able to negate my Magical Musketeer Max. And it looks like we're going to pretty much stop the gravy train right now, as I can't activate any Magical Musketeer cards from my hand immediately because Max effect is negated. So I'm going to give it right back to JB, him already slowing down my plays. He's going to use our Nemesis Archer to attack into the Max, and then use his Subterror Final Battle to double the attack of his Nemesis Archer, bringing me down to 5,800 life points. Setting an additional card face down, he's going to pass his turn, and it looks like Subterror is all ready for the long ride, as he has a pretty decent control of this game. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Magical Musketeer Docks. JB says that's okay, using it for a link summon right into my Magical Musketeer Max. JB seems to have a response for it. What is it? What do you have, JB? What are these cards? He's going to use a Solemn Judgment. He's going to pay half of his life points to stop the summon of Magical Musketeer Max, but I have the response in Magical Musket Last Stand. This card has been the complete savior for me, allowing me to negate the Solemn Judgment and get off my Magical Musketeer Max's effect, being able to spell summon Casper and Starfire to my side of the field. I'll also be able to spell summon a 3rd monster and Doc. Now, JB is no slouch. He's actually a pretty smart player. I didn't even know that the Solemn Judgment would be to bait the Last Stand, as he really wanted to have there can be only one on his side of the field to completely disrupt my board. Just send everything to the graveyard. This is like a torrential tribute on drugs right now, as all of my monsters are fiends, and there can be only one means there can be only one. So I'm going to lose my entire board uninterrupted because that Last Stand is a hard once per turn, and only keep the Casper to my side of the field. So this is definitely what JB wants to be in a situation of, because this card can just literally dismantle strategies card by card. JB topping that Pot of Extravagance from his top deck. Watch him go into that main phase, use that card effect, banish 6 cards from his extra deck, again they don't matter, to get 2 more additional resources to his hand. While JB is in the losing section of the life point category, he's definitely out-advantaging me right now. Right now, he can go ahead and attack with his Subterror Nemesis Archer, one of his favorite cards, and then trigger the effect of a Subterror Final Battle, which will double the attack of his Nemesis Archer, putting him over the Casper. And there's not much I can do about it. He's just literally destroying my board one by one, setting an additional card, and then passing his turn. Here's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. I can summon a Magical Musketeer monster. I can use it for a link summon. It can't be Casper, since Casper's a fiend monster himself. I'm just kind of stuck. I'm going to normal summon that Calamity and then activate Magical Musket Desperado from my hand to destroy that There Can Be Only One. That will allow me to be able to activate the effect of my Calamity to special summon a monster to my side of the field. Going ahead and selecting my target, JB's thinking about it. Nah, I really don't like when you play Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to go ahead and use my face down trap card. Another There Can Be Only One. It looks like there's 2 There Can Be Only Ones in this particular game. I swear, that card needs to be limited. It'll definitely fulfill There Can Be Only One. Because there can be only one. There can be only one. You get what I'm saying? But very smart by JB to wait until Calamity activates her effect to chain the other there can be only one. Now, I can't necessarily activate Calamity's effect again if I were to get over it. I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn as Subterror has brought this game down to a crawl. It is in all of his favor. Setting a monster in face down defense position, JB is now going to use the effect of his Hidden City to flip up his Subterror Guru back to his side of the field, and then he's going to trigger the effect of his Subterror Guru. Since it was flip face up, he can add a Subterror Fiendess, and now that he has a Subterror monster or a Subterror card face up on the side of the field, he can also gain the effect of Subterror Guru to flip cards on either player's turn, making it a quick effect. So this is really no problems for the young boy as he's going to attack into the Guru, then use the effect of Subterror Final Battle, doubling the attack of Guru, and now attacking with Subterror Nemesis Archer. Right now I'm in a danger zone, right? I just can't really comprehend how this low tier duelist is actually inflicting a ton of damage, bringing me to 2,500 life points and then having a Floodgate Trap card, 2 of them. So yeah, it looks like I don't really have much else to do. I'm gonna normal summon that Magical Musketeer Doc, which would be amazing, followed up by Desperado. That is really good. Get me back into the game, but we already know he has the Fiendess. He's gonna negate the Desperado. We're going to go into game 3. Subterror is showing you guys how it can control the board. Let's see what Magical Musketeers can do, as I'm going to normal summon my Magical Musketeer Kid Brave, and now I'm going to follow up by activating Magical Mallet, shuffling 2 monsters or 2 cards from my hand to the deck to draw 2 additional cards. Now the OTG does have Upstart Goblin at 3, and I really like that they do. It changes so much of the dynamic of Magical Musketeer. You can just activate cards and trigger your Magical Musketeers. We don't necessarily have that in the TCG. Magical Mallet is a pretty decent replacement. I've been liking it in playtesting, as now I can trigger the effect of my Kid Brave, discarding another Kid Brave from my deck to my hand to draw 2 cards. Then following up with one of the most powerful cards to activate going first, Ties of the Brethren, costing me 2,000 life points, putting me down to 6,000. I'll be able to target my Casper to be able to spell summon 2 more Magical Musketeer monsters from my deck to my side of the field. This is going to be scary for JB, because now the Subterror deck is forced to go second, and that's not what this deck wants to do. It wants to be an anti-meta deck. It wants to control the board, and the best way to do that is to go first. I'm going to spell summon Doc and Casper to my side of the field. These 2 monsters are a deadly force, allowing me to search and recur resources, which can be really deadly. I love how this deck is operating right now. It's putting me in the driver's seat, and I just so happen to have another card to trigger off my Magical Muskets. I'll use Pot of Desires, banishing 10 cards from my deck, drawing 2 additional cards, but the more important thing is that I got 2 free cards, and I also got to trigger the effect of my Magical Musket Casper. Casper will allow me to add a Magical Musketeer card from my deck to my hand after I draw 2 cards, a Magical Musket card. And one can already assume what's really good in this Subterror matchup is being able to have those Desperados to destroy the Hidden Cities, also being able to have Last Stands to negate the activation of those Strikes and Judgments, or being able to destroy and negate those Hidden Cities. As long as you can hit that Subterror back row, you'll be in a pretty decent spot. Not to say that it's fairly easy to hit the back row. Magical Musketeers just have a really good edge right now. So yeah, we'll get that Last Stand into our hand, and hopefully this will be the last stand for Subterrors. Get it? Last stand. I'm gonna stop. So, looking at my options, I don't have to set any spell or trap cards face down. I'm going to go ahead and pass it right back to JB. He's going to start off his turn ever so predictable, activating that Hidden City. He'll be able to add, no, I'm not feeling that. I'm going to go ahead and activate that Desperado on my Casper, destroying the Hidden City before it can resolve its effect, meaning that JB will not get a search. I'll also trigger the effect of my Magical Musket Casper, which will allow me to add a Magical Musket card from my deck to my hand. It looks like Magical Muskets are in the driver's seat. This deck is too strong at times, so strong that I'm pretty sure you guys are going to want to see a deck profile. Well, if you guys want to see a deck profile, let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes, ladies and gentlemen. It hasn't happened as of recent, but it'll be pretty good. I'm always watching the engagement to see if it's worth it, so go ahead and show some love. In this particular situation, I banished some Magical Musket cards that I didn't want to banish, so I'm forced to add Crooked Crown to my deck, to my hand. JB's going to go ahead and set a monster in face down defense position, as well as some cards face down. Not 100% sure if that's a Nemesis Archer again, or if it's a Subterror Guru. That's one of the good perks that this deck has, as if I do attack into it with Cross Domination, and it's a Guru, or I'm sorry, and it's a Nemesis Archer, he'll be able to trigger the effect no matter what. But if I attack into a Guru, it's like, okay, we're in good spots. So going right into the main phase, we're going to activate another Pot of Desires. We are getting tricky. We have so far 20 cards banished from our deck to draw 4 cards. People are probably asking, dang, Cali, is it worth Desires? Especially when your opponent changed, there can only be one, or there can be only one, meaning that you won't be able to do much. I actually do have a response in my Magical Musket Last Stand, but unfortunate for me, JB has a response into my response inside of Solemn Judgment. So yes, this little whole debacle is going to come down with me losing a lot of advantage. That was pretty exciting, actually, as the Pot of Desires did net a change of events, allowing me to draw 2 additional cards, but also I'm going to lose my entire board to a There Can Be Only One. The only fortunate thing is that Magical Musketeer dock will allow me to add Desperado, and now I can use that Desperado to get rid of There Can Be Only One. I can even follow up with some plays of my own. Special summoning Magical Musketeer Max to my side of the field, and since he does control 2 phase down spell and trap cards, I will be able to special summon 2 after I use the Desperado respectively. So using the Desperado, we're going to go ahead and destroy his card. Does he have a response? JB has another Solemn Judgment. Whoa! No! I was never going to win this battle, was I? He's going to pay half of his life points again, bringing him down to 2,000 life points. And I hope you guys are doing some quick maths. This is a 40 card deck. I'm going to attack with the dock and then activate Cross Domination. But back to what I was saying, this is a 40 card deck. I've already ran through it with a couple of upstarts in, you know, your Magical Mallet. I've also spelled some monsters from my deck to my side of the field with Ties of the Brethren. And then I've activated Pot of Desires twice. This game needs to end really fast. The interaction between attacking into his Subterror Guru and the Domination is what's putting me ahead right now, because if JB is allowed to start to set up with his Guru control, then I am a huge goner, as he can either stall out the game or just outright win the game depending on the other cards in his hand. Doesn't matter that he has 2,000 life points, he'll have complete control over the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. JB normal summoning his Subterror Fiendess, using her effect to flip her face down. Just about summon his Subterror Guru to his side of the field. Really cheeky. This man is starting to adapt and change. He's going to pass his turn knowing that I have to get rid of There Can Be Only One, and if I can't, he'll be able to do Subterror Guru things, which is just no bueno for me. I'm going to activate another copy of Magical Mallet. That's so free. That's just so free. I'll be able to shuffle some dead cards into my hand, right into my deck, and then draw 2 additional cards. I wish I could show you guys how thin this deck is right now. It's like 4 cards or something like that. It's extremely thin. It's nothing. Like, JB is a master of stalling. He could literally just stall these 3 turns out if he gets the right cards. I'll be able to add 2 cards from my deck to my hand, but more importantly, I'll be able to trigger the effect of Magical Musketeer Dock. Dock will allow me to add Desperado back into my hand, which I can now follow up by using to destroy There Can Be Only One. So now that There Can Be Only One is off the field, I can finally link summon it to whatever I please. Dock has served me completely well, and that free Magical Mallet has gotten me that Desperado that I needed to be able to blank There Can Be Only One. So this is going to be a pretty exciting part to watch. Who will win? Will I be able to OTK, or not even OTK, inflict 2,000 damage to my boy JB the Menace? Or will I just deck out, because he can literally stall? Or even option number 3, will he just dominate? Well, I do have the Magical Musket Crooked Crown, and since I do have a Magical Musket monster in my hand, I'll be able to either normal summon or special summon the Kid Brave to my side of the field. Not sure which one I exactly did for that Kid Brave, but I guess it really doesn't matter, as we just know I'll just have 2 summons. I'll use the Magical Musketeer Dock for a link summon. Actually thinking about it, bringing the dock back, I'm going to have to check my banish pile and my graveyard, because I did banish a significant amount of cards. Do I even have monsters left inside of my deck? It looks like I might, as I'm going to use the Magical Musketeer dock for that link summon into that Max to my side of the field, triggering the effect of Max to be able to spell summon Magical Musketeer monsters to my side of the field. It looks like JB does have the Solemn Strike. This game is over, ladies and gentlemen. No! It looks like this game could be going in the reverse way as Magical Musketeer Last Stand is activated. A clutch activation to stop the Solemn Strike, putting JB down to 500 life points. Taking advantage of the situation, I'm going to special summon Magical Musketeer Starfire to my side of the field. Wait, how am I special summoning a Magical Musketeer monster to my side of the field? He has no spell or trap cards. Huge misplay, ladies and gentlemen. This is interesting because, yeah, the Magical Musketeer Last Scan should negate the activation of Solemn Strike and destroy it. And since he has no cards left on his side of the field... Oh, wait, I could use... No, it doesn't have any cards left on the side of the field. Starfire shouldn't be there. So that's interesting. So using the Magical Musketeer Dock and the Magical Musketeer Max, we are going to link summon right into our Hippo Shinigami. And now we have a monster that's actually beefy enough to attack over the Subterror Guru. As Doc will be able to attack over the Fiendus, Hippo Shinigami will be able to attack over the Guru, and Kid Brave will be able to attack for that 500 damage for game. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of TheCaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. And if you really did, consider joining our Patreon. We have so many awesome rewards. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day, like I am.